Good morning to you. I'm Shayla Reeves. This is CBSN Minnesota's Morning Update. Grab that coffee and let's get you up to speed on all of your news and weather. Of course, Katie is keeping an eye on our forecast. Katie, what can we expect out there?
One word. It's cold. Very cold. Here's a look at our weather conditions right now. 5 degrees below zero is where we are. This is our actual air temperature, Shayla. So when you think about how cold it actually is, that's feels like our wind chill temperatures. That's 19 below zero here in the Twin Cities. You're at 36 below zero is what it feels like when you walk out the door in Brainerd. Only 3 below in Worthington, so that's the warm spot. But let's zoom in on the metro here. So again, these are your actual air temperatures. So 5 below zero in the Twin Cities, 9 below in Eden Prairie, 10 below in Glencoe, 9 below in New Richmond. Or feels like temperatures are even colder than that. So very chilly out there, especially when you walk out the door, but things will get better. We'll be at 0 by about 9, and then we'll get up to 10 degrees, Shayla, but it's going to feel like the negatives all day long. So plan on that, bundle up, all the layers, coats, gloves, mittens, hats.
You'll need them all today.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much, Katie. Now let's talk about this. Do you have some grudges against 2021? Many of us probably do, and that's exactly why hundreds went to Times Square to say good riddance. A local group created Good Riddance Day a few years ago. They usually bring a giant shredder to Times Square for the event, but since the last 2 years have been what many would call a dumpster fire, they swapped it out for an incinerator. How fitting. People stop by to write down their grievances and see them go up in flames.
I'd like to get rid of COVID, quarantine, virtual teaching and learning.
I like to get rid of not being able to see my friends because of COVID.
I want to get rid of the people in my life who don't make me feel like my best self.
I'm burning toxic men away.
The Good Riddance Day event kicks off the annual New Year's festivities in Times Square, which are scaled back again this year as Omicron surges. So what do you want to say good riddance to this year? You're going to be dealing with a lot of stuff. This cold weather, we know. We had COVID this year as well. Be sure to leave some comments for us, and we'll be reading some of those in just a little bit. So you're going to be dealing with these sub-zero temperatures outside today. Best way to stay safe is to layer up. Hospitals say the most common issues they treat this time of year in Minnesota are frostbite and hypothermia. One doctor we spoke to at HCMC said frostbite can start after 15 or 20 minutes of outdoor exposure without proper layers. They say focus on layering your core because this will help keep your hands and feet warm. Breaking news out of St. Paul overnight, where police are now investigating 2 separate deadly shootings, adding to an already record year of killings. The most recent happened just after 10 o'clock last night in the Frogtown neighborhood. Investigators say a man was shot and killed during a fight at this home near Blair Avenue and Dale Street. Police believe the man was in his 30s. We saw multiple people leaving the home and some being patted down by police, but we're told no one was arrested. This marks the city's 37th homicide this year, the most on record. It also comes just 24 hours after another man was shot and killed outside this Rice Street grocery store in the North End neighborhood. The victim later died at the hospital. Police are still looking for the shooter. The surge in holiday COVID cases is showing up at some of Minnesota's already overcrowded hospitals. Right now, 3 out of 4 hospitals are completely out of space. Statewide, there are just 30 ICU beds open for adults, which means 97% are in use right now. COVID concerns have canceled another New Year's Eve party in Minneapolis. The Lights All Night dance event planned to fill the Armory in downtown over 2 nights, but organizers pulled the plug to keep fans and artists safe. Tickets or holders can get a full refund. In New York City, another Broadway show is ending its run due to COVID challenges. Motown jukebox musical Ain't Too Proud is closing next month following fellow musicals Waitress and Jagged Little Pill. The New York City Ballet also canceled remaining performances of The Nutcracker due to positive COVID tests. The flu has already proven deadly for at least 1 Minnesota child. Last year saw the fewest cases on record, but the CDC says this winter is shaping up to be a more typical year. In Minnesota, nearly 90 patients have been hospitalized. That's more than twice as many as all of last year. Doctors remind us to get our flu shots, cover our coughs, and wash our hands. Heavy snow is setting records in the Sierra Nevadas. Check out this time-lapse video of snow piling up in Lake Tahoe this month. December is officially the snowiest month on record in the area with nearly 17 feet of snow. One of the most powerful Democrats in the Senate history has passed away. Harry Reid represented Nevada in the U.S. Senate beginning in 1986. He led the Senate Democrats for 11 years before he retired in 2016. Reid's family says he died in the afternoon after a 4-year battle with pancreatic cancer. He was 82 years old. NFL Hall of Fame coach and broadcaster John Madden has died at the age of 85. He was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders when they beat the Vikings in their last Super Bowl. But Madden was best known as one of the all-time great broadcasters in the history of the game and author of his famous video game. Just as the U.S. cruise industry had gotten back out on the seas working to recover, there are some concerns now that it could shut down again thanks to the pandemic. The CDC says it has identified 85 cruise ships with COVID on board. This as some passengers and media outlets are reporting a few ports in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, and Mexico won't let passengers disembark if they're on ships with COVID cases. Carnival said earlier this week it would find alternate ports if necessary. Back to today's talker. We wanted to hear what you were saying about good riddance. What do you want to say goodbye to in 2021? Diana weighed in on social media saying good riddance to staying cooped up at home, uneasy of going out into crowds. That's been the story here for the last year or so. And Jackie said, I'd like to say good riddance to health problems made worse by stress. Unnecessary stress needs to take a hike. And we have Monica weighing in, people dying and anything that has to do with COVID. And of course, cancer. Thank you so much, Monica, for weighing in. All of you, thank you for sharing your perspectives. That's your morning update from CBSN Minnesota, your only local streaming news source. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow.